Welcome to the last video about the Cat Trophy series. Today I want to talk to you about the zero waste item I used during the raid. As we mentioned in the previous videos, we did a carbon compensated raid, and so to help us lower our carbon emission we also brought zero waste item with us, and I wanted to present them to you. Most of them are items that I use on my everyday life. I don't think there is only one thing that I bought for the raid. All of them I already had. So let's get started. Why is that such an important subject for me? I've always lived a very eco-friendly based life. I'm lucky that my parents brought that into my education. They reused a lot of stuff, we try to recycle a lot, they go to the local market and such, so that was something very natural I was brought into. And when you're going into the desert, like you do on this particular travel, you don't want to leave trace. This is an untouched territory. We are only there to burrow and sleep there. You don't want to leave, I don't know, cigarettes bed, so I didn't want to leave too big of a trace. Something that I saw a lot on the park in the US is that you pack it in, you pack it out. And I think that's a very good statement. That being said, I do not have a zero waste lifestyle. I do have some items that I found easy for me to swap to. Maybe they'll be easy for you, maybe some changes are not compatible with you. I'm not here to shame you, I'm just here to show you what I chose to swap to, and maybe that would be just a first turn into the process of discovering that things are possible. So the first swap I found very easy is reusable bottle. I chose a fancy one. It says scuba tank because if you didn't know, I'm a scuba diver. As you can probably tell, it did had a rough time in the Crazydivers trophy, but I think it gives character to the bottle. That's a very easy swap. You need to hydrate a lot in the desert. I like this one because it does keep the temperature of the water inside. It's insulated, so that I could fill in water in the morning and keep it fresh during the day. So that was very useful. A swap that I have in my house is old beer bottles with flip top that I use to keep water. If that's what you have at your place, you can take them, but I was a bit afraid that this would break. This one is the one I use at work, so either one good, and that's a very easy one to do. You can find fancy ones, you can customize them, so why not try? The second item that we used the most often, I would say, is gas bottle. If you follow a previous video, you know that I had to cook my food every morning, lunch and dinner. So these were very convenient. You just screw some head to spread the gas and burn it. These one have a deposit, which means you pay for the bottle and the filling of the gas. And when these are empty, you give them back to the supermarket and you have like a voucher to buy a new one. So they are reused. As you can tell, that's not their first life. And that's one of the things my parents had when I grew up. I actually grew up on this stuff when we were camping or going away. Obviously you need a set of pots to put on the top, and to go with these, reusable cutlery, and that's the mug. These are very easy to find. You can find them on a camping store or, you know, secondhand. There is plenty of them. This one was actually free with a bottle of gin. I would recommend these steel mug because they're not breakable. I mean, they're practically indestructible and they're very lightweight, so if you go camping or you go walk, these are very easy. They're easy to carry, they're easy to clean. Highly recommend these. Speaking of cleaning, I have this. So this is a brush. You can find these in Biocup or maybe now in supermarkets. You basically brush a little bit of soap on this, put a bit of water, and you clean everything with that. A good part is that this is also zero waste. This used to be a big chunk of Castile soap, so that's very useful, especially in travel. You can just cut a chunk of it and put that on a little box or little bag, and it's also lightweight to carry. Doesn't take any space at all. Speaking of soap, I think that's pretty basic if you look into anything that's zero waste. The first swap that's easy to do is a bar of soap and a bar of shampoo. Ew. I basically use these every day when I go to shower. Granted, this is easier because I have short hair. I've never used one with long hair. I don't know how easy it is. If you did use one with long hair, leave your impression in the comments. But that also was very convenient during the travel because we didn't have access to a shower. So you just put a bit of hot water in a pan, use a bath mitten to just clean yourself with those. More than zero waste, it's also very convenient when you're traveling. As I said, light waste, it won't spill everywhere. You can put them in a box and you're good to go. So love these, absolutely recommend these. You can find a lot of diversity on these nowadays, so look into your supermarket. One of the things that is most recommended to buy for the raid by anyone is some baby wipes to try to clean yourself a little bit. I found that there is a lot on the ground because there is a lot of wind on the campsite. Those wipes ended up being thrown everywhere, not on the bins, and I found that was a bit of a shame. So we bought these actually for the raid. We bought these in Etsy. They are reusable makeup removal. I don't use makeup, but these were very easy if you just want a quick clean up, remove the sands and stuff. These were very useful. I got 9 of them, so that I could just throw them in a wet bag and clean them in the washing machine when I got home. So highly recommend these. Still on the hygiene, if you have the chance to try some zero waste toothpaste, that's the one I have. It's from Lamazuma. I think that's the most effective that I found, and that doesn't have silicates on them because I'm allergic to these. I'm a bit on the fence on this. It does not leave you the freshness taste after it. I still have regular toothpaste at home, so I use this one for the raid, just because it was easy to carry and didn't split everywhere. Try a lot of these before. These are not for one. I know Niklas doesn't like them, but yeah, it was easy. You just put your toothbrush on hot water, you brush on it, and there you go. Easy. It does not leave this massive foam of chemical stuff on the ground because you don't have things. For the trip it was good. For the everyday life I tend to reach the normal toothpaste. However, this item I use it every day. I completely swapped for it, and it's ear swabs. So we used to have a lot of ear swabs at home, cotton ones with the paper bits, so at least it wasn't plastic, but I tried these ones. These are from a Kickstarter. At first I was not convinced, and then kind of took the switch. They're easy to carry in travel as well. That's one of the things I love about zero waste item. That's so easier to travel with them than regular ones. It comes into a little box, and yeah, it comes in different color if you want. I highly recommend that you go for the actual Last Swab brand. I know some Chinese try to sell knockoffs, and the silicone bits got stuck in some people's ear. This one cost me, I think, €7. Don't buy the knockoff things at €1 or €2. I'm not sure the quality of them. And the last item I would recommend you for the 4L trophy is reusable hand warmer. These, my brother-in-law actually offered them to me Christmas 2016, I think. So what you do is you simply push this little metal piece and some chemical reaction that happened, and it does hit a bit, and when it's done it gets solidified, and you just have to put it on hot boiling water and it goes back to its initial state. So that was very, very useful for the night in Boulajoul. You may know that I have Raynaud syndrome, which means that my blood does not go all the way through my finger when I'm cold. So that was a lifesaver for me and Nicholas, who was also cold. And that's it. These were all the items I wanted to recommend to you for the Castrel Trophy. I hope some of them spoke to you and that you could do the swap for the raid. If you do have any recommendation of zero waste item that you thought would be interesting for the raid, leave them in the comment section down below. If you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up and maybe share it with one of your friends who wants to do the Castrel Trophy next year. I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.